Okay, so I'm just going to show you how you could add cases in here. Now they're a little bit different. The problem with Oscola is that linking in Zotero, the legal databases, particularly the Irish Oscola version, it doesn't actually link in very well as the fields in here with Zotero, the way books might and the way that websites might even. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a little cheat way of doing it, and you can see if it's something you'd like to use or not. So let's say, for example, I have my citation. You'll get it from wherever you want. It might be something you get from a book, copy and paste from your notes, whatever it might be. So I know this is the citation I want, so I'm going to copy that, Control C. I'm going to come down here in my Zotero, do a new item, I'm going to case, so it's blank here now. I can just copy and paste that in. Now what I'm going to do is, this is the cheating bit, I'm going to take that out, okay? I'm just going to leave the case name with the parties in, and I'm going to put it down here in Reporter. And the reason I'm doing this is that it's the only one that I can see where it actually exports it in such a way in the bibliography that is similar, with the brackets and everything, all the formatting correct, okay? And to show you what I mean by that, okay, so if I right click here, I'm going to create a bibliography from my item. I have an Oscola version here. I have a copy to clipboard. So this, it remembers my last setting. So I'm going to say OK. And then just to use this as an example, I'm going to paste this in here. I'm going to paste it in the bottom so you can see. So if I do Control V and paste it in, there it is. Okay. So you can imagine if you've got loads and loads and loads and loads of these, it will do them in order there. So it'll save you a little bit of time. Potentially there. The reason, as I say, it's quite good using Zotero for these is that it's the advantage, it allows you to take notes here, so you can type away in there and you can put whatever notes you want, whatever quotes or whatever it might be in there, and that could be useful for you later. So you'll have that little note at all times. So same with the books, you'd put it in, maybe you might put a note in and you'd say what chapters you're interested in and why, and you make your points there, and you may have quotes there. So as I say, that's one of the reasons why we might try and make Oscola fit the round peg into the square hole or whatever it is. So I think it's probably worth your while trying it out like this. See if you can get your workflow going with it. So that's one way of doing it, okay? What I did was I just did a new blank case and I copied in here and I separated this out, kept the party names in, and I put them in here to the Porter one there, okay? So that'll export nicely. The other way of doing it as well is that often you're given notes. You might be given a PDF and you might want to keep them for later. So I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to just click on that there. So that's something you want to keep for later. I'm going to go up to download here. I'm just going to save it. So that's now my download there. I'm just going to click on that. I can just drag and drop that in. Now I know I've done this one already, but sure, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's there, but that's not really, once it's just like a little loose PDF like that, it doesn't work at all. But if I right click on it, and if I go up to create a parent item, it's nearly there, but you see the way it's a bit blank looking here, it isn't really anything yet. If I go back over here, and I go to my document, I can change it into a case. And there we go. And I just do the same there. Okay. Because this was a nicely named PDF. It was actually had the name carried over, which is handy. Sometimes you get ones and they aren't, just going to have to type them in manually, but you'd have to do that anyway when you're doing your own notes. So why not just do it here rather than in a number of Word documents you'd have to search for later. Okay, get rid of that PDF there though. Okay, so I could just extract that the way I did the other one. Okay, I actually didn't copy everything out there. Sorry, I didn't do it right. My 2015. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Okay, just the other thing I'm just going to show you here quickly while I'm at it is if I go into my Word here, get rid of that for the moment. Okay, so just going back to what we did in Word before, okay? I did this with you before. We did references. And we did insert footnotes. So I'm going to do that there, and it's dropped down there. Now what a lot of people do is you just copy and paste in something you had already. You might type it in manually. But if you have your Zotero plugin, Word, if that gets you all to do, I'm going to click here. and I can just navigate to it. So it can be kind of handy as you're writing away. Just something to think about. I'll go to classic view here. I was going to pick one of them. So it does it there. Let's do another one. Navigate again. Go to go here. Okay. Now, so the reason I'm doing a couple of them here is that I'm going to do a third one here, right? Go to my references. Insert footnote. Go back to my Zotero. Back to my add citation, and I'm going to do a repeat of one of the other ones I've done. What one was it? Gormley. Okay, so it knows it's Oscola, so that's the way. Now listen, you might want to double check that that's the order in which you want it to appear. That is Oscola, it is correct. Just make sure it's suitable for house rules. Double check with your lecturers, alright? But that should work okay for you. I know there's a couple of ways you can write it, so just double check with them. Oscola Ireland might be a little bit different, so I think this N1 might come a little bit earlier, but we'll have a look and see. The other thing is now is if you might find that you don't have the Zotero one, Oscola, when you start off. So I'm just going to document preferences here. So you'd have a choice. I could change it to this other Oscola version here, for example. Okay. So as it happens, they all work. It works the same there. Okay. So the reason I'm changing this here is because I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to get rid of this second one here. Second footnote's gone. Okay, so it's N1, that's fine. If I chose a different version of Oscola, I think this will change. Yeah, okay, it has the I bit there. So that's just the only thing I just want to check which one you want to use for that. There's a whole load of different versions, so we can choose the right one. It's a couple of clicks of a button, but this way in this class, if you have a work through all this, hopefully it'll work out for you, that you'll get a bit of a feel for it anyway. We'll be coming back to it again. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if not, but sure, I'll go through it again with you in class.